മേഖലയ്ക്ക് ഉന്മേഷം പകർന്നുകൊണ്ട് KTM 11ാമത് എഡിഷനായ KTM 2022 ആരംഭമായി. രാജ്യത്തിന് അകത്തും രാജ്യത്തിനു പുറത്തുമുള്ള സെല്ലേഴ്സിന്റെയും ബയേഴ്സിന്റെയും ഈ മീറ്റ് തീർച്ചയായും ടൂറിസം വിഭാഗത്തിന് ഒരു പുത്തനുണർവ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുമെന്ന് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്നു.
Buyers and sellers are going to have 55,000 meetings. You might be knowing buyers from 69 different countries, 25 different states came here. They are going to have 55,000 B2B meetings. That's going to be a very big boost for the business going to come in the next few seasons. And especially after post-COVID, I think this is a shot in the arm we are giving for the Kerala tourism.
KTM 2022 പുത്തൻ പ്രതീക്ഷയാണ് കാരവൻ ടൂറിസം. മറ്റു വിദേശ രാജ്യങ്ങളിൽ ഉള്ളതുപോലെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന പല വിദേശ ടൂറിസ്റ്റുകളും ഇവിടെ ആരംഭിക്കുന്ന കാരവൻ ടൂറിസത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് ഏറെ പ്രതീക്ഷകളാണ് പുലർത്തുന്നത്. ഏറെ ആധുനിക സൗകര്യങ്ങളോട് കൂടിയാണ് ഈ കാരവൻ ഒരുക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത്.
We are here at KTM Kerala Travel Mart 2022, a B2B meet of Kerala tourism. So this time it has been arranged more professionally, and we have got around 55,000 appointments so far, and it is larger than before, and we are doing serious business over here. We are showcasing all the new products of Kerala tourism, starting from the caravan, the responsible tourism, and a lot more surprises for buyers. So we wish you have a great time here.
കോവിഡ് അനന്തര ടൂറിസത്തിന് കരുത്തേകാൻ കേരള ട്രാവൽ മാർട്ട് 2022 സാധിക്കുമെന്നാണ് ഇവിടെ എത്തിയിട്ടുള്ള ഓരോ വ്യാപാരികളുടെയും പ്രതീക്ഷ. ലോകമെമ്പാടുമുള്ള ഉപഭോക്താക്കളിലേക്ക് തങ്ങളുടെ സേവനങ്ങൾ എത്തിക്കാൻ ഒരുങ്ങുകയാണ് ഓരോ വ്യാപാരികളും.
And I'm so glad to be part of KTM 2022. The response here is amazing. It's overwhelming, and that itself is an evidence that Kerala tourism and tourism industry as whole is all set to bounce back and to rock. So excited and looking forward to your patronage as usual.
We are really excited that we are here at this platform in KTM 2022, and this has happened post-COVID. So we from the hospitality fraternity are really looking forward to the bounce back of the tourism, and we really thank KTM for making this happen. This has also given us an opportunity to come together and meet up with all the other fraternity as well. So as my colleague said, we represent Marriott. We are about 6 hotels, 5 in Kochi and 1 in Trivandrum, which is an upcoming property. So we are eager and looking forward to see how the tourism is going to bounce back.
ആയുർവേദ ടൂറിസം കേരളത്തിന് ലോകശ്രദ്ധ നേടിക്കൊടുത്ത ഒന്നാണ്. KTM 2022 സവിശേഷതകളിലൊന്നായ ആയുർവേദം കേരള ടൂറിസത്തെ ലോകോത്തര നിലവാരത്തിലേക്ക് ഉയർത്താൻ സഹായകമാകും.
കേരള ട്രാവൽ മാർട്ട് 2022 ഞങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവരും വളരെ സൂക്ഷ്മമായി നോക്കിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. കാരണം ഞങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാവരും ഈ ഒരു 2 വർഷത്തെ പാൻഡമിക് സിറ്റുവേഷന് ശേഷം ഇത് ആദ്യത്തെ ഒരു ട്രാവൽ മാർട്ടാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവരും പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നത്. തീർച്ചയായും ഇതൊരു കേരള ടൂറിസത്തിനും ആയുർവേദത്തിനും ഒരു പുതിയ ഉണർവ് തന്നെ ഉണ്ടാകുമെന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവരും പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുകയാണ്. കേരളത്തിലെ ടൂറിസം ഫെറ്റേണിറ്റി മുഴുവനായിട്ട് ഉറ്റുനോക്കിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ് ഒരു പുതിയ ഉണർവിന് വേണ്ടി. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ആയുർവേദം ഒരു തീം തന്നെയാണ് 2022 കേരള ട്രാവൽ മാർട്ടിൽ. അപ്പോൾ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ആയുർവേദ ടൂറിസം വഴി ഞങ്ങളെ കേരള ടൂറിസം ഫെറ്റേണിറ്റിക്ക് മുഴുവനായിട്ട് ഒരു പുതിയ ഒരു ഉണർവ് ഉണ്ടാകുമെന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുകയാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ വളരെ നന്നായിട്ട് എല്ലാവരുടെയും പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. ഒരുപാട് ബയേഴ്സ് വന്നു, അപ്പോയിൻമെന്റ്സ് എല്ലാം നല്ലതായിട്ട് നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ വിവിധ രാജ്യങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നുള്ള എല്ലാ പേരും വരുന്നുണ്ട്. കേരള ടൂറിസം തന്നെ ഇതോടുകൂടി ഒരു പുതിയ മുഖം ഉണ്ടാകുമെന്ന് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുകയാണ്.
കേരളത്തിലെ ടൂറിസം മേഖലയ്ക്ക് കൂടുതൽ കരുത്തേകാൻ KTM 2022 കഴിയട്ടെ എന്ന് ഗായകൻ അഫ്സൽ പറഞ്ഞു.
എന്തായാലും ഈ കൊറോണയ്ക്ക് ശേഷം ടൂറിസം നമുക്ക് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് വരണം. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് കേരള ടൂറിസത്തിനൊരു വേൾഡിൽ നല്ലൊരു പ്രാധാന്യമുണ്ട്. അപ്പം അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഭാഗമായിട്ട് വളരെ ഗംഭീരമായിട്ട് തന്നെ ഈ ഫംഗ്ഷൻ നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. എന്തായാലും എല്ലാവിധ ആശംസകളും. വൈബിന്റെ എല്ലാമായ വിമൽ ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട് എൻ്റെ കൂടെ.
ഉറങ്ങിക്കിടന്ന ഒരു ടൂറിസം മേഖലയെ ഉണർത്തുവാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് വളരെ പ്രൗഢഗംഭീരമായിട്ടാണ് ഇക്കുറി മാർട്ട് ഇവിടെ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഒരുപാട് ബയേഴ്സ് പിന്നെ ലോകത്തിന്റെ പല ഭാഗങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നും ഇവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേർന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. അത് ഞങ്ങൾക്കൊരു വലിയ പ്രതീക്ഷയാണ്. ഇനി മുന്നോട്ട് ടൂറിസം ഡൗൺ ആയി കിടക്കുന്ന ടൂറിസം ഒരു പുത്തൻ ഉണർവോടെ പുനരുജ്ജനിക്കുന്നതിന്റെ ഒരു വലിയ പ്രതീക്ഷ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് മുന്നിൽ വയ്ക്കുന്നുണ്ട്.
മേളയോടനുബന്ധിച്ച് 55,000 വ്യാപാര കൂടിക്കാഴ്ചകളും വിവിധ വിഷയങ്ങളിൽ വിദഗ്ധർ നയിക്കുന്ന സെമിനാറുകളും നടക്കും.
I think there's a very strong rebound because COVID has impacted tourism like nothing has done before. But the way the event is organized, we've had buyers from 68 countries, I understand, which is a record, which means that irrespective of COVID, people still have this confidence in the Kerala growth story, and they think Kerala is a place where they can go and make their business grow. So I think it augurs well. And we also have a lot of representation from the Kerala industry itself. So responsible tourism is our calling card. I think all over the world now, Kerala has positioned itself as a responsible destination. So I think that is a path we should walk forward on and consolidate our position as a responsible destination. Because all across the world, all things being equal, people always prefer something which is ethical, which is morally compelling to them.
KTM 2022 ഇന്നത്തെ പ്രധാന ആകർഷണമായിരുന്നു ചേഞ്ചിങ് ട്രെൻഡ്സ് ഓഫ് ട്രാവൽസ് എന്ന സെമിനാർ. ടൂറിസം മേഖലയിലെ നിരവധി എക്സ്പെർട്സ് പങ്കെടുത്ത സെമിനാർ ആയിരുന്നു അത്.
Friends, as you all know, in the early days of travel, it was mainly the voyages that were taking place to discover new land and in search of products. Like the Dutch came to Kerala in search of spices, or the Portuguese or the Europeans went to America. They lost their way. So that was the voyages. Then came the travel by the elite or the deep-rooted pocket. It was luxury involving a lot of cost. Gradually it made way to mass travel as travel became less expensive and more convenient with less time spent on traveling owing to good air connectivity as well as accommodation suiting every palate. We have not seen the end of the changes taking place in the travel scene. Disruption is the norm in life. Industries are continually disrupted by new trends and tourism is no exception. Use of technology in room bookings, booking based on reviews, based on safety and hygiene, based on sustainability, etc. all affect travel. We have to therefore keep our fingers on the pulse to grow and to be relevant. Let's hear from our learned speakers today on the changing trends in travel. We have with us today Dr. V. Venu, IAS. The second speaker here today is Rika Jane Francois. She is the Commissioner ITB Corporate Social Responsibility in Berlin. The third speaker here is Dr. Amit Sharma. He is the Vice President, Abercrombie and Kent, New Delhi. The fourth speaker is Mr. Samir MC. He is the Managing Director of ITC Fortune Hotels and Welcome Heritage. I am extremely happy to welcome these four gentlemen as well as our moderator, Mr. E.M. Najib, who is also the Managing Director of Great India Tour Company and Air Travel Enterprises.
I also welcome Sri Baby Matthew, our President KTM, who is also on the stage. I think we are discussing a very interesting subject of changing trends in the travel field. I said very interesting because we all have already experienced the changing trends. That's what I personally feel. Because 2 years back or 3 years back for a meeting in the US or in Japan or in Australia or in South Africa, we used to travel almost 24 hours, go there, stay there, and finish 2 hours meeting and come back, right? And then, either you get a positive result or negative result, doesn't matter. And look at the changes which has taken place in the last 2 years due to COVID. It completely changed all over the world. All kinds, our life has been completely changed. We all have gone through the worst situations in our life in different ways, but we are trying to survive. We are trying to come out in the bargain. We lost a lot of family members, friends, and a lot of people have closed down their shops. A lot of people have stopped their businesses. A lot of people from the travel and tourism industry has gone and started their business in different, they have entered in different business. Millions of people have lost jobs in the travel and tourism industry. This is our experience. And in that experience, we are looking at what is happening in the travel and tourism. What are the changes, how it has happened. In a very focused manner, we are discussing. We have actually accurate subjects also for the people to address it. We are very eminent personalities. The first and most important thing is the customer experience. If you look at the travel and tourism, and is concerned, travel and tourism is concerned. It is actually redefined through technology, the personalization using artificial intelligence, facial recognition, and voice recognition, and virtual reality and augmented reality. This is all happening in the travel and tourism industry, not only travel and tourism industry, in most of the other industries. If you look at the changes in customer motivations, emphasis on the hygiene and safety, and short trips people are taking instead of long trip. Probably in the next 1 year, 2 years, people may change to longer destinations and things like that. But today, everybody is concerned that just go for a short trip, either from Cochin to Moolar or Cochin to Thekari, or from London to France, or from Saudi Arabia to Dubai or Bahrain, or from Singapore to Bangkok and back or something like that. So that's the way people have been looking at if you look at the tourism angle, work from anywhere, work from anywhere staycations is happening. Demand for local experience is another one. Experiential tourism is actually catching up like anything which is happening. And also the motivation factor, people are looking at Instagram ability and things like that. So completely redefined, and the travel and tourism entrepreneurs, like in the hospitality or in the travel or in the tourist sector or related sector, is completely started changing digitally to ensure that the survival is there. If that is not happening, we don't know what is going to happen. So that is the reality.
The last 3 years have taught us that you cannot take anything for granted. And most of us in tourism, I can say this, have a tendency of sort of resting on our laurels. We've done something well, and we think it's a good thing going, and we think that this is going to continue. So I think that whole edifice of confidence has been shaken. And so we are all, I think, in the process learning afresh, trying to understand things from different perspectives, anew. And I think that is a very good thing for us, because the next one will come sooner or later. And we need to be nimble and innovative and clever in order to survive and in order to push our businesses forward. If you, the future of travel and tourism, I will start with a personal example. Now, one of the numerous jobs that this government has been showing to me is to run an airport. So I am the managing director of an international airport. It's a small airport, the Kannur International Airport. In my airport, I have 6 aircraft that's been parked for the last 1 year. Some perhaps a few more months, in the 14 to 15 months. 6 aircraft. I will not name the airline, but that is the fact. So when you talk about the future of tourism and travel, there are certain things that are going to be no-brainers. Airlines, for instance, the airline industry will continue to bleed. We will find more and more airline companies going down. It's not a very, how do I say, optimistic picture, but then that is the truth. You're going to see mergers, strategic mergers going to happen. But airlines, I think, among all our stakeholder sectors within the tourism umbrella, I think it is aviation that is going to take the biggest hit. And through aviation, we come to travel and to tourism also. Now, what else is going to take a hit? I think long-haul travel, as we all know it, is going to be the next big casualty. We are in the midst of it, as Mr. Najib so brilliantly put it. We are in the midst of this. So all of us are aware of this, but it must be underlined. Tourism as we knew it, of long-haul people coming in for long holidays, is going to be more and more a rarity rather than the norm. What is the third one? Again, we all know this, but across the world, across regions, people will prefer to travel to a close-by destination. So people will travel to a destination that is rather familiar to them, rather than seek out that exotic long-haul place. So over the next few years, I do not see this going to change too much. So short-haul destinations, domestic destinations, destinations that are familiar. But I also feel that there is going to be the revival of a creature which we all thought was endangered. And that is the revival of the tour operator. I'm going on a limb here, okay? But I think that what the pandemic and all these things have done is to create what I call the anxious traveler. We've heard of the independent traveler. We've heard of the alert traveler. But I think the new creature that we will all service is the anxious traveler. That is a person who will need a lot of reassurance. That is a person, the traveler, will increasingly look upon travel experts to advise them. Because again, as was brought out earlier, hygiene becomes very important.
As we all feel, it is so necessary to come together and to network together. So, I'll just give you some figures about ITB, how it was when it happened. We had 100 trade visitors, we had 160,000 square meters, we had more than 10,000 exhibitors, many of them Indian, but it's going to happen again. And it will happen again next year. So it keeps our fingers crossed that this will happen. Well, what I have done and what we have done at ITB for many years is bringing sustainability and responsibility on the agenda and setting a new imperative in tourism, becoming sustainable. So we always use this huge platform we have to really try to bring sustainability also in mainstream thinking. And this is not easy, as you can imagine. I know that Kerala for many years has been kind of a role model because there are a lot of intelligent minds who have really brought sustainability further. But this is not happening everywhere. So tourism needs intact ecological and social environments to flourish. So we have the obligation to fight for sustainability.
Well, Dr. Venu has rightly mentioned that if we need to go further, like what are the trends in the industry? Well, trends could be local, regional or global. I could see that there are two aspects to it. A, what we have been noticing since last 2 to 3 years, and B, what has been happening as a part of trend since decades. This is the model which was proposed by two scientists in 1990s in Harvard Business School. That progression of economy, it starts from it's long years ago, maybe 100 years ago, the progression was the commodities, and commodities were nothing what our ancestors were growing, maybe grains, maybe something which we were growing in the agrarian economy. Next, it came industrial economy, and in industry it was goods. So commodities, it has changed to the goods, and then it came the service economy. In service economy, it went back to the services, and being in service industries, I'm sure that we all are able to relate to it, and not very long time ago. Now, the next stage of this model, which was defined way back in 1990, was the experience economy, which we call it the experiential holidays, if we may call it in our terminology. So, in 1990s, it was well defined that as and when there will be progression of economy, there will be different stages from agrarian to the services and further to the experiences. So, nothing new has changed in last 2 to 3 years. What have changed? From service economy to the experience economy, this pandemic have modulated, has fastened up the pace, and which is, I won't say good or bad, but yes, this phase has come relatively fast, what we were expecting during this phase of this progression of economy model. Now, I'll get more detail into this. Now, from commodity, wherein it was an extract in economy. We used to extract it from the field and going to the market. Then goods. Goods are all about making the things. We used to make the things and then we used to sell into the market. And it was only 3 major factors were price, price and price. And after that, we got into the service economy. And in service economy, it was all about the delivery, intangible aspects, which we all are privy to it. We have been delivering the services, and it's the third part of economy, which is service economy. Now, the next is experience economy, what we have been referring, what we have been talking about since a while, and now the big lion, the big elephant is under the cage. And here we are staging the experiences. While I'm talking about the staging, I'm talking about the curating the experiences. What we have been doing nowadays, we have been doing it since a couple of years, but the augmentation has done because of this pandemic. We are focusing more on this. And this is something which consumer are demanding. So customer behavior is changing now from services to the experiences.
There are various elements of experiential travel, but Najib, you rightly mentioned the 3 most important ones still are nature, cuisine, and culture. So, if you get good food, there are people who actually go from place to place now to try food. So that's also got a lot more traction over the last couple of years. So I think there's a lot of activity happening around domestic tourism. The great part of that is there's strong domestic demand. People are willing to travel a lot more. Like Dr. Venu alluded to, it was also seen that the shift to short-haul travel has become a lot more, even within India. So we see a lot more of our regular guests also wanting to go back to the same hill station closest to their city of living, rather than getting onto a plane and going to another location. So we are also seeing that the radius customers want to travel is now becoming much lesser. And that's also part of the comfort and convenience they're getting used to.
Around 1,000 buyers, domestic and international buyers, came for the mart today. We had very good buyer-seller meet today. A lot of appointments have been done. I'm so happy. After 4 years of the pandemic, we are starting the tourism again. And this Kerala Travel Mart 2022 will bring the tourism into new heights. And the first day was very good, very good. A lot of people came and they are very happy. They're very happy to sell Kerala. And this is a festival of tourism actually. We are all looking forward for a good season of tourism in Kerala.